In this video, I'll demonstrate how to configure a simple website. A simple website is one that contains static, unchanging files, things like HTML pages, maybe some client-side script files, graphics, videos, that kind of thing. So what we can do is host it in S3. So here in the AWS Management Console, we'll start by going down under Storage and clicking on S3. We're going to build a brand new bucket to host our website content. So to do that, I'll click the Create Bucket button. I'm going to call this bucket Quick Sample Site 1. Although you could call it, for example, www.abc.com if you've got a DNS name registered for that. For the region, I'm going to go ahead and select Central Canada, and then I'll click Next. And I'll click Next. I'm just going to basically accept the defaults for the rest of the creation of this bucket. And after a moment, we now have our new Quick Sample Site 1 bucket. So I'm going to click on it to open it up, and I'm going to click the Upload button. This is where we can add the files that will be hosted by our website. So I'm going to keep this very basic. I'm going to upload an index.html file that contains some very basic text messages that will be displayed when we test our newly created website. So I'll go ahead and click Next to continue through that, and I'll accept all of the defaults for everything else that I'm asked. So notice I haven't set any specific permissions for that file or anything like that. But what we are going to do is we're going to set permissions through a bucket policy. Now our bucket we can see up here is called Quick Sample Site 1. I'm going to click on the Permissions tab. We're not going to change the access control list through here. Rather, we're going to click the bucket policy. Here we could use the bucket policy editor, or we could simply type in or paste in our bucket policy to allow public read access to our website content. So here I've pasted in my bucket policy, where we are giving public read get object access. We're setting the effect to allow, and here we've got the ARN, the Amazon resource, and here we can see it's Quick Sample Site 1 /*, everything in and under that bucket. And we can see, of course, that the ARN is listed up here. Now, if you're wondering, how do I get this? Well, instead of typing it out, if we scroll down, you can also use the policy generator tool to set these configurations, and it will generate this code for you. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And the next thing we have to do is make sure we've enabled static website hosting for S3. So to do that, I'm going to make sure we're looking at our S3 bucket, which we are, Quick Sample Site 1, and I'm going to go to the Properties tab. Here I'm going to click Static Website Hosting, and I'm going to tell it I want to use this bucket to host a website where the index document is called index.html. I don't have any error documents I want to use, and I'm not redirecting any requests to other locations, so I'm not going to fill in anything for those items. But notice we do have our endpoint listed at the top here for our website. So let's go ahead and start by clicking Save. Now, if I go back into my static website hosting, here we've got the link that points to it. Let's go ahead and click on it to see what happens. And notice we've got our sample website that's being displayed. In this video, we learned how to configure a simple website using S3.